Hey, good morning, everybody. Listen, don't judge me. This is what exhaustion looks like. I hope you guys are all safe and well during everything that is going on right now. I hope you guys are keeping your family safe and well. I just wanted to hop on for a few minutes and speak about what's going on. I want to start by saying I am not a politician. My views may not reflect your views, and you're entitled to whatever point of view that you have. But I am open for suggestions, and I just want to keep a positive dialogue. So in light of everything that's going on with the protesters, protesting the social injustices under the platform of Black Lives Matter, right? Guys, I have been watching and I have been silent for a little bit because I've been trying to find the right words to say and the correct way to express how I feel without stepping on anybody's toes or offending anybody of any race or any nationality, because I don't believe in that. However, what I do believe is that we need a change. What I do believe is there needs to be a reform. What I do believe is there are a lot of people that are frustrated, that are emotionally worn. I believe that not just the social injustices that have recently taken place, but the social injustices that have taken place over hundreds of years through different generations have now led to a eruption of disruption, chaos, and not all of the protests are chaotic. Not all of them are disruptions. However, I understand. I have a son who's 8 years old, and guys, this thing has made me so emotional because the passion that has been displayed, because of the violence that has been displayed, because of, on both ends, not just on the ends of the civilians, but also on the end of the police. And guys, it causes me to be so emotional because I can't fathom the level of distrust that now exists. And I mean, I know that it has existed way before now, but that is more prevalently existing amongst the African American community and the law enforcement community. While I agree with the protesting, I don't agree with the rioting. I don't agree with the looting. I don't agree with the vandalism. However, what I would like for you guys to understand is it's not just African American people that are setting things on fire, that are looting, that are stealing. It's not just Caucasian American people that are setting things on fire, that are looting, that are vandalizing things. It's people across the board. Because, I'm sorry, y'all, I realized the sun was just sitting there in my face. It's people across the board that are doing it. It does not make it right. However, that's the level of frustration, and that's where they are. That's a level of frustration, and that's where they are. They are angry. They are tired. They are tired of systemic oppression. They are tired of being unheard. They are tired of being taken advantage of. They are tired of the lack of justice that exists for social injustices that continue to take place. The one thing I do want to emphasize, there is a better way. Yes, we can protest, but if you're going to protest, whatever measures you're going to take, please make sure the measures are consistent. Because what we do is we will protest when publicity is high. We will protest, we will march, we will riot and do all of these things when publicity is high. And then all of the protesting, all of the marching, it just dissipates. I would like to see a more consistent platform that's taking place. That's not just for a month. That's not just for a week. That's not just for 2 or 3 months. A more consistent platform, meaning hold them accountable at all times, not just when a major story hit, like George Floyd, rest in peace, Mr. Floyd. Not just like Breonna Taylor, rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. Not just like Ahmaud Arbery, rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery. Not just like Trayvon Martin, rest in peace, Trayvon Martin, and so many others like them that were hot media topics, guys. Social injustices exist every single day in all types of community, not just on a large scale, but also on a smaller scale. Guys, understand that there are more consistent measures that you can take that hold them accountable. If you've been rendered a social injustice, discrimination, brutal force, excessive force by the police, go to their direct supervisor, which would be their sergeant. If the sergeant do not give you a resolve, go to their lieutenant. If you don't get a resolve from the lieutenant, go to the chief of police. In smaller municipalities, they do not have internal affairs. If you can, in larger municipalities, they do. After you go to the chief of police, if you do not get a resolve, go above their head. Go to their internal affairs in larger municipalities. If they don't have an internal affairs, write a complaint to the Department of Justice. Ask the Department of Justice, one, in writing, send it certified mail so that you will know that they received it. What investigative measures they are going to use to investigate your claim or substantiate your complaint. Ask them, and you guys have a right to do this. Ask them, past that, can you have a letter based on the outcome of their investigation and their complaint? You can make suggestions. Suggest that police officer get more training. Suggest that police officer be investigated and pending investigation, depending on, the seriousness of your complaint, that they be discharged or charged or placed on administrative leave. Guys, you have rights. You have a right to assemble. You have a right to protest. Allow your voices to be heard, right? Force is not with your fist, guys. Force is with your voice. You can use your voice and be heard just as loud as you looting, just as loud as you stealing, just as loud as you setting things on fire. Because understand, the message that you are sending may not be the correct message. The message that you are sending with the looting, and like I said, it's not everybody, but the message that you guys are sending with the looting, the message that you guys are sending, setting things on fire, the message that you guys are sending, breaking and entering, that we are everything that you have classed us to be. We're feeding into stereotypical norms of being criminals, of being unruly. And like I said, it's not just African American people, it's across the board. Don't give them a reason. Don't give them a reason to use unnecessary force. Use your voice. Don't give them a reason to pull you over. Don't give them a reason. And sometimes they don't have a reason, they just do it. Comply. Listen, adhere, and comply, because that's the difference between life and death. If you see someone that's being pulled over, it is your right not to disrupt the crime scene or not to disrupt the police doing their job. You have a right to record. Stand at a distance and record if you see the police are being unruly. Hold them accountable through consistent measures, guys. Use your voice, not physical force, because what that does is that continues to further create a culture of mistrust. That continues to further create a culture of police brutality. That continues to create a platform of misuse, excessive force, protesting, right, or rioting. Let me correct that. Rioting through unjust and undue measures. Guys, we have to do better as a nation, not just on the police side or the side of law enforcement, or the judges, or the lawyers. Hold them accountable too. There are accountability measures that you can take. However, we have to hold one another accountable as citizens. If you see a citizen or a person that's looting or stealing, don't condone them. If you see a person that's attacking the police, do not condone them. Let them know that they are wrong. It starts with us as individuals, holding one another accountable, holding law enforcement accountable. But as I said, this has to be on a consistent basis, on a consistent measure, not just when you're getting media coverage, or not when you're just getting media, the spotlight in the media, because not all coverage is good coverage. And understand that the media will do a good job, because yes, the media is there to document, but they're also there for ratings. They do a good job and they have been, especially with the protesting that's going on. The peaceful protests are under display, and the rioting is over publicized. But that's the job of the media. That's what they're good at. So guys, please, 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 please hear me. Use your voice, not physical force. Guys, hear me. I am saying, yes, protest, because that is your right. You have a right to assemble peacefully and protest. Don't allow anybody to take that from you. But please be peaceful. Please make sure that, yes, you are holding one another accountable on a daily basis. Make sure that if you see a social injustice taking place, no matter how large or how small, hold the law enforcement community accountable. But there's a way that you do it. There's a correct way that you do it. There are correct measures that you take. Not just as soon as something happens, we're going to protest for a while, and then there is nothing. You can't go from one extreme to not doing anything at all. Continue to consistently hold them accountable and watch the change continue to take place. Peace, love, blessings to you all. Please continue to be safe out there. I love you all. I am praying for all of us. I am praying for our nation, and I am also definitely praying for our president. I am praying that the Holy Spirit just grab him and shake him, Lord. Again, I'm not a politician, and I will not project my political views on anybody else, on anyone, as it relates to a president. But as it relates to the protesting and the social injustices, guys, that's just my thoughts. Please feel free to comment, because I'm open, to hear from you guys on what you think and how you feel about what's going on. But as I said, please be safe. Peace, love, and blessings. Oh, and my mask, I'm going to put it on. My little daughter is making me one, so I will have it on the next video. Thanks, guys. Peace and blessings to you all. Please stay safe out here, because it's a lot going on.